We're living through this absolutely wild moment where technology isn't just something in our pockets, it's literally redrawing the entire global map of power. We're talking about everything from AI to quantum computing, and these aren't just cool gadgets. They are the new architects of our world. They're shaping everything from who our allies are to where the next battles are fought in cyberspace.
And this quote just nails it. We're in the middle of a seismic shift, where data is the new oil and innovation, well, that's the new currency of influence. This is so much bigger than just getting better smartphones. What we're really seeing is the new great game for global dominance, and it's being played out in real time.
Now, it's kind of tempting to think this is all brand new, that this has never happened before. But honestly, this link between technology and power, it's a pattern that's woven throughout all of human history. The real difference today is just the unbelievable speed and scale of the change. It's happening faster than ever before.
I mean, you can see this clear pattern repeating itself. Every single time there's a major tech revolution, it triggers a massive power shift. Think about it. The steam engine didn't just power factories, it fueled entire colonial empires. The telegraph and later the transistor didn't just help us send messages, they laid the very groundwork for the digital age we live in. And now we have the AI revolution, which honestly could end up dwarfing all of them. Okay, so that brings us to the central conflict of our time, a brand new kind of digital arms race. And right at the heart of it is this incredibly high-stakes rivalry for tech supremacy between the United States and China. And believe me, this competition goes way beyond just silicon and code.
Yeah, this rivalry isn't just about money or economics. It's a fundamental clash of ideologies. In one corner, you've got the classic US model, a pretty open, decentralized internet that's really driven by private innovation and entrepreneurship. And in the other corner, you have China's state-controlled approach, where technology is seen as a direct tool of national strategy. These are two totally different visions for what our digital future is going to look like.
All right, so let's check out the scoreboard for a second. If you look at the data from 2023, you can see the US has a lead in key areas like the number of AI startups and R&D spending. But look how close China is. And what's really interesting is how both of them are just massively outpacing the entire European Union. The race is definitely on, and it is incredibly tight.
And if you're wondering where the big money is really flowing, well, this chart tells the story. Both the US and China are pouring absolutely staggering amounts of cash into one specific field, artificial intelligence. It's pretty clear this is what they believe is the strategic high ground, the single most important technology that's going to define the next 100 years.
And, this whole race is changing at lightning speed. It's not static at all. So while the US still leads in the number of AI startups, just look at the other numbers. China has nearly caught up in R&D spending and, get this, has actually pulled ahead in critical areas like 5G patents. This is a dynamic, neck-and-neck sprint for who gets to be dominant.
But here's the thing. This isn't just a story about two superpowers duking it out. No way. This competition has some pretty profound consequences for every single person and every single country that's connected to the internet. The fallout from this rivalry is shaping our shared digital world in ways we're only just starting to wrap our heads around.
Which brings us to maybe the most important question of all. As this technology just keeps accelerating, are we going to use it to build bridges, or are we going to use it to build walls? And that's not some abstract thought experiment. The answer is going to define the kind of world that we and our kids are going to live in.
One of the most immediate and frankly most chilling risks is the rise of what experts call tech-enabled authoritarianism. It's a scary concept, right? The idea that the very tools that were designed to connect all of us are being repurposed for control. We're talking about AI-powered surveillance that can watch every move, or social credit systems that can basically erase dissent. It's a direct challenge to democratic values everywhere. And to really understand the scale of this quote from the futurist Amy Webb just puts it so starkly. China's massive population and its centralized data collection gives it an advantage that is just unprecedented. It's creating a sphere of influence that could literally reshape the entire developing world.
And look, these dangers are not theoretical at all. They're happening right now. The number and the cost of state-sponsored cyber attacks are just escalating dramatically, year after year. Nations are actively using cyber tools for spying and for disruption, and they're turning our shared digital space into a global battleground. And just to put a fine point on it, $9.3 billion. That was the estimated price tag for major state-sponsored cyber attacks in 2023 alone. And this isn't just about stolen corporate data or something. This is economic warfare that affects real businesses, critical infrastructure, and, ultimately, our own financial security.
So, what on earth can be done about all this? Well, this brings us to the massive challenge of governance. How do we create rules for a digital world that is changing way faster than our institutions can even hope to adapt? The need for some kind of global framework has never, ever been more urgent.
But actually agreeing on those rules, it's incredibly difficult. First, you've got the core geopolitical rivalry we've been talking about, which just creates gridlock. Then you have nations with fundamentally different interests. And on top of that, you've got technology that evolves faster than any government can possibly react. And to top it all off, it's notoriously difficult to hold anyone accountable in the online world.
Of course, there are some big global bodies trying to tackle this. You've got the UN, the WTO, and others. And they're all working on different pieces of the puzzle. But the problem is, a lot of these institutions were built for a completely different era, a much slower world. So their efforts, while they're important, are often fragmented and they simply can't keep pace with the speed of Silicon Valley.
But what if we're looking at this whole thing wrong? There is a more optimistic view out there that frames this massive challenge as a historic opportunity. The idea is that the very same technologies that are causing all this disruption could actually be used to build smarter, more responsive, and even more creative forms of government.
And so that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The technology itself, it's neutral. It's just a really, really powerful tool. Whether it ends up building a future of cooperation or a future of conflict, that depends entirely on the choices that we all make right now. So the real question is, which future are we building?